Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another session of uh, which tech roles actually is actually for you. My name is Rahul, and today we are going to talk about something that almost every student struggle with. One of the essential questions which everyone thinks and asks from themselves before they join any role is which tech role is really right for myself, and which one is the highest paid. And then we go on the LinkedIn, we go on the social media platform, the other social media platforms which is available. We talk to friends, and and not the role your senior told to pursue, or not the role which you actually think is important, the role which actually makes you enjoy every day, every single day. Because because here is something most important people realize after joining any organization is that what they are excited for is not something which is making them happier in their everyday day-to-day work while they join any organization. And that's what we will understand in today's session, and we will explore about the six different roles which majorly converges to build one product, whether it's a technical product, or whether it's a web product, whether it's an Android product or an iOS product. Today we'll be majorly talking about the technical digital products which is there out in market. Like one of the products which you can take an example is Review Loop, which is a PyCray product. So we will be talking about the six different roles and how you can assess them, and then which role is importantly will make you happy and will help you in your career growth. We'll be exploring about that. Okay, before we move forward, I just quick introduction about myself and what we do. I'm Rahul. I help in majorly in sales and solutioning at PyCray Technologies. I help in kind of bridging the technical architecture gap between the commercial solutioning and what the customer needs. At the same time, I help the client kind of understand their problem, decipher what is required for them and what is not required for them. Along with me, I have on the call today Mahesh. He is the co-founder at PyCray Technologies. He helps in project deliveries. He helps in product building, majorly delivering the product to the market. Comes with a very experienced background, more than 12 years in project delivery, and an educational background from IIM Ahmedabad and IIT Guwahati. I'll quickly talk about what PyCray is all about, what PyCray technology is all about. You can go to www.com and .pycraytechnology.com, and then you can see what we do. But at majorly, we work in digital foundation assessment, AI use case selection, AI implementations, building product, end-to-end product which gives you revenue, not only helps you in building something which is an MVP, but we think from the angle that from the day one you generate revenue out of the product which you are building. We help in the digital product go to market strategies also, and there are many more things which we do. Apart from this, we have our in-house product called Review Loop. You can go to the websites. I'll just quickly present. So PyCray Technology, you can uh, see what we do more about here on our website, and maybe if you want, you can connect with us on www.info@pycray.com. And on the review loop side, you can visit the website www.reviewloop.in, and then you can see what this product is all about without wasting much of our time. And talking maybe about review loop, which we can talk about in some other session. But I'll come back to our main agenda of today, that what why it is important for you to kind of understand which role and is suitable for you. So maybe one role may pay you 20 lakh, the other may pay you 15 lakh. Almost every immediately chooses the first one. Like if someone is looking at a role which is there in market, so let's take an example, front-end development, and then there is a job opportunity which may be coming from any organization, and then you see the salary range, and then you quickly jump onto to that, okay, I will be taking up this role, whether it's a front end developer or a full stack developer at organization X. Uh, and we are talking about this for majorly everyone, like whether they are new, whether they are fresher, whether they are 1 year experience, 2 years, 2 years experience. The people keep on switching job based upon the salary range rather than thinking about the background, right? Like what is essential, what is essential for me to kind of excel in this role, whether I have the correct aptitude to kind of go beyond and then start delivering uh, without facing much difficulties. So one of the biggest mistakes which student make is confuse the prestige. Now this is important to understand the prestige trap, which I say, because because it comes with a role, right? Like if you will go out on LinkedIn, you will see product managers at Google, product managers at Microsoft, or SD, software development, software engineers at Microsoft. We immediately choose the title, right? We immediately fall in that area, that okay, this title looks impressive. I should be like, I should be becoming a software developer at Microsoft. Now, without getting into much of the details that what actually I'll be doing, or and we don't even ask, like we don't even do much research about the role. We don't even ask about what that role is actually requires, which aptitude. We don't even do the research. We don't even go on LinkedIn, find people and ask them those questions, that what actually it will look like on a general Tuesday, on a general Friday, like when the deliverables will be there. So uh, and nobody will tell you that, okay, I have spent like 6 hours or 26 hours or 10 hours on debugging one simple problem. That is maybe something missing in terms of in the code, like a semicolon, right? Like and we keep on searching for that, we keep on solving that problem, and and uh, and that is what is the real issue which no one talks about. Everyone talks about good, that okay, I'm SD, I got there, I do this. The positive side is only reflected on the social media platform, not the part wherein we spend most of our time, that is 90% of our time, in kind of debugging the issues, and which require the real aptitude in terms of logic, in terms of problem deciphering, in terms of problem breakdown, in terms of logical thinking, in terms of critical thinking. So every role which is out there has specific need, specific aptitude which is required for you to kind of excel, right? So and we fall in that prestige trap, which I say, like okay, I'll become an SD, I'll become a product manager, I'll become a project manager, I will become a backend engineer, I'll become a DevOps engineer, so whatnot. Like there are different roles, but yeah, uh, as of today we'll be talking about six different roles. In our last session also we discussed about that five different major roles which contribute and converge in kind of building one product in any organization. Similarly, today also we'll be talking about six major roles and what is essential for that role to kind of excel, and who is a good candidate, like how I can assess myself that whether I have the aptitude of excelling in SDE or a product manager or a project manager role. Okay. Uh, we will one of the best slides, or one of the best presentation of how we see things is this slide, which I think is we always see above the water. Like we always see the promotions, we see the launches, we see the salary packages, we see the success stories, and below the water there are hundred of meetings, there are hundred of documentations, there are hundred of debuggings, there are hundred of testings, there are hundred of waitings, fixing, rewriting, follow-ups, calls with different stakeholders inside the organization, outside the organization, which is invisible, right? Like there are, like, we don't see, like, every day that there will be like 50 different messages coming from different team members. So let's take an example. If you are a backend developer, you will receive like 40 different messages from the front end guy that, okay, my integration is not working because there is a issue at your end, there's a bug at your end. I have logged ABC bug on the ticketing tool, and those bugs can take a lot of time for you to kind of solve. So no one talks about that. The question isn't, can I do the glamorous part, right? That is, which is visible to everyone, which is this area, that I have sipped X feature, I have sipped Y feature, I'll be able to, whether I'll be able to sip uh, uh, a feature which is required. So not, that is not a, that isn't a question, right? Like if I am a front end developer, I have joined, and in this AI rage, if I am utilizing any coding assistant, I'll be able to sip those features. But in this AI age also, with the help of coding assistant tools like Cursor, whether I'll be able to solve those critical bugs, right? Understand those critical bugs, solve those critical bugs without creating, recreating, and reinventing new bugs, right? That's where the question is. And that what we should always be asking, whether from ourselves, if I am a front end engineer, if I am a back end engineer, if I am a product manager or a project manager, can I enjoy that invisible part, right? That's very important for anyone who is looking forward for any role, to join any role, to ask, like, right? Like it is very essential for you to ask those questions, like whether I'll be enjoying that 90% of the task which I'll be doing on a daily basis, right? Which no one talks about, whether I'm enjoying that thing or not, whether I'm enjoying solving critical problems or not, whether I'm able to debug those problems quickly or not, whether I'm managing the stakeholder for a project manager, whether I'm managing the different stakeholder within the organization, like the different team members, properly or not, whether I'm able to enjoy the 90% of the time which I'll be investing throughout my career. That's very essential for us to understand and ask. Okay, that is very essential. So this is a view which everyone should be keeping in mind, that okay, there is only like 25 or 30 or 40% of the thing which is above and which is visible, which is glamorous, which everyone talks about, and maybe I'll be able to deliver. But I should also understand that there is a bigger chunk which is below the water, which I have to understand, which I have to know, which I have to have the capability, or generate the capability, or learn about those capabilities, learn about those aptitudes, and be ready to deliver while it is required. Okay. Uh, I'll be moving down to one of the essential understanding about a product development cycle. And inside that, we always talk about, like, in the last session also, we talked about the double diamond design thinking framework. Uh, in every product development, whether we do it at PyCray, whether we do it at the different organizations, whether we do it at Review Loop, we always think about delivering any product in an iterative cycle. That is, we start with the discovery, we start understanding the problem, we define that problem, we start developing a framework to deliver solution corresponding to that problem, right? We start developing the exact solution by dividing that solution into maybe sequences of different features and then deliver, right? So this is an iterative process, and in this, if you will look at, there are product managers, business analysts, then there are front-end developers, back-end developers, QA engineers. They come at different stages, but all of them are present in all the stages from one, two, three, four, from from discover, define, develop, and deliver, right? And then we also do a retrospective, which also comes as a part of the delivery cycle, wherein we try to understand from the customer perspective whether whether the product which we thought about building or shipping is correct or not, whether it's fulfilling the needs of the customer or not. Right? So every successful product which is out there in market, whether it's a Zomato, like the giants which is there in India, like Paytm, I always talk about these applications, which is why? Because they are very robust applications, right? Like they have multiple features, and then there are different applications within those bigger applications. So if you will look at Flipkart Minutes. These are different applications, which combines to build one bigger application. So every successful product goes through the cycle of first discover, which is understanding the problem, then define, deciding what exactly we should be building, then develop, actually building the solution, and finally deliver to the customer, that is testing, deploying, and at the same time improving the product according to the customer needs, right? So now here the interesting part of all these stages is the different roles, right? Like they kind of support these different stages in different ways, right? And every role contributes differently, and every role is essential. You cannot say that, okay, I'll only build a product with a front-end developer, right? Maybe you will be hiring one single person, but that person will be solving different problems. They will be acting like a different team member, like a product manager, like a business analyst, like a project manager, like a front end engineer, like a back end engineer, like a DevOps engineer, like a QA, right? Because these are the different roles which is required to kind of develop a product which is enterprise grade and ship. You can think this like a movie, right? If we have to understand any product, if we are into our initial learning stages, if I have to think, okay, how it looks like, it is nothing different from a movie. Movie is also a product, right? It is also a digital product. So like actors, directors, editors, cinematographers, choreographers, all of them come together, right? And they start building one product which is made for entertainment purposes, right? Every product has an objective, right? Like review loop has a objective of delivering some solution utilizing the QR codes, or bringing multiple features inside one umbrella to support small and medium enterprises, like Paytm, which has different objective of serving to different customer needs. Similarly, every product has an objective to deliver, right? And while we are in our in my final year, or in my while I'm only starting my career I'm at a very nascent stage, I should be asking these questions, okay? That which how the different stage how I will contribute at different stage, which stage and uh, which process is making me more happy. Okay. Beyond this, we will be talking about the six different roles. We'll be understanding more in details about these roles. Okay. We, how these roles are, how these roles converges to build a product, and how they like support each other. Like a front end engineer who or a back end engineer cannot function independently. They have to work in tandem, right? Like front end guy will develop the front end side, the back end guy will develop the APIs, and then the integration side part of things will work, right? Similarly, a product manager will write the product features. They will define the product features priority, which should be coming. Like a business analyst who will understand the business requirements, who will understand the business side part of the things. Like he or she will understand the specific domain into which the product is placed, right? So each role has its own uh, own specifications, which I can say, and we'll be talking about that more in details in our next section. As we go through each role, the product manager, the project manager, the front end engineer, the back end engineer, the business analyst. These are the major six roles basically which helps in building a product, but it is not limited to only these roles. There are DevOps, which is part of the back end engineering. So I have kind of not left them, but considered them inside the back end side. Then there are sales team, then there are marketing team, then there is other team members which is also there. But majorly today we will be talking about from the technical product side, building side perspective. We'll be talking about only these six different roles. Maybe in our next sessions, okay, maybe in some other session we'll be talking about those roles also, which is essential for the product to kind of go to market, place in front of the customers, do promotions, that is the marketing team. We'll be talking about them maybe in some different session, but today we'll be focusing majorly towards these roles and how I should be selecting these roles based upon my aptitude, based upon my understanding, my likes and dislikes is what I'll be talking about, and we will be slicing and dicing and understanding that how any role you can choose at start of your career, or maybe if you want to navigate to some different role during the mid career, how you can understand and how you can select those. Okay, starting with the front end development role. So let's take an example. On any Tuesday on or any Wednesday, basically we start facing difficulty. Why I'm taking Tuesdays and Wednesdays is very essential. Like the midweek crisis. When you will join any organization, you will understand these things. Like issues generally come on Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, on Fridays. These are the days which is like which will make you like think more about why I have joined these roles. So that's the example. It's just an example which we are taking. So let's take an example. Imagine on a Tuesday morning, I'm sitting in my on my desk and I'm working, whether I'm working from work from home, whether I'm working from any workplace. You receive a Figma design, and the ask is to convert something which user can interact with. Okay. You start working on that Figma design. You develop, like you spend 5 6 hours of the day. You develop that design, and accept. And after the development, you did your unit testing. You saw everything, and then everything looks perfect. Except one in one of the browser, as soon as you open, take an example, Chrome. You see that something is deviating by 2 pixel or by 5 pixel. Okay. uh, which you didn't notice at the time of your unit testing, and even even while maybe you have done some reviews with your colleagues, even they did not notice that. Now it's time for you to ship this product, and your project manager is on to you that okay, you mentioned that you have completed the task, whether whether it is ready or not, and that tiny issue of 2 pixel deviation is taking like 2 hours for you to kind of solve, right? So that is what is front end all about, like solving that tiny issue, whether it is frustrating you, right? Uh, because or whether you are liking at the very initials to solve that tiny issue, that is very essential for you to understand. So in any front end engineering role, someone who thrives, who excels, they are very creative people. They enjoy these creativities, they enjoy these precisions, and they are the people who enjoy kind of making things visually appealing. Okay, they enjoy those elements. They will find out ways to kind of create visually good designs. They will solve those problems without thinking that okay, why I'm doing this. If that questions comes to your mind, okay, I have to somehow solve this, I have to somehow just ship this product while you have just started your career, then that's not the role for you. You will burn out. Okay, you will every day you will think that okay, this is not something which I should be doing. And this is what you should be always analyzing before choosing a front-end developer role, right? People who hate front end often get frustrated by these tiny design details. So these are the early signs that okay, this is not the suitable role for you. Okay, uh, this is very essential for you to kind of go back and see if you are thinking to become a front end engineer. Now, here is something which you can try after this session. Pick a Figma design, okay? Maybe any of your favorite app, maybe Spotify, maybe Zomato, maybe Swiggy, anything. Recreate one screen using maybe HTML, maybe CSS, whatever frameworks looks good for you. And notice something. Did you enjoy that process? Ask yourself, write it on a notebook. Did I enjoy in recreating this design? Did I enjoy in recreating that small tab? Right? Like, so let's take an example. If you are designing a page which looks like this, did you enjoy placing the PyCray Technologies logo at the right place? Whether it's deviated, whether it's not looking nice. Even if you are utilizing any coding assistant tool, I'm not saying that you will not utilize in today's era any coding assistant tool. You should utilize. But while debugging these small precision things, you should ask yourself that did I enjoy the overall process? Or whether I was counting for that last minute to complete this design, right? To complete this design somehow and end, right? And if the answers is if the answer to these questions is okay, I'm enjoying everything, I'm liking this, I want to learn more on this side part of things, the answer will tell whether whether your aptitude is towards the front end developer role or not, right? So this is very essential if you are deciding whether I should be becoming a front end developer or a back end developer, or maybe I should be choosing some other role, right? It is very important to do this activity. But yes, please, after this session, if you are someone who is looking forward and kind of in double thoughts that okay, I have to understand this or that, or I should be selecting this career path or that career path, do this activity. We will move to the next role, that is the backend developer role. It is a bigger segment. Why I'm saying this, it combines various different roles. It combines DevOps, it combines Python developer, it combines someone who is developing an API, it combines someone who is kind of creating those networks, right? It combines someone who is kind of helping in the infrastructure side part of the things. Why this is backend? Now, uh, that question we should be asking, right? Like we should be asking now, um, why it is always called backend, because it is not visible to the end users, right? Like it is something which is at the background which is going on. So API is not exposed to everyone. The JSON format is not exposed to everyone. No one will come on your platform and see something written in curly brackets and then and things going in and going out. No one wants to see that. No one wants to see those infrastructure parts, like whether it's deployed on AWS, whether it's deployed on GCP, or whether it's deployed on anything on your on-premise system. No one cares about that. That's the reason it is called backend side. And the soul of any product lies in a good backend, right? A robust backend which is a scalable, right? So a backend engineer's task is a bit different. A bit more logical thinking is required on your part to excel in this role. Okay. So maybe an ML engineer is also a backend developer. Okay. Maybe an AI engineer who is working on the LLM chat agents, right? They are also maybe categorized under the backend development side by other things. But yes, it is a bigger segment which I am today considering. Okay. Maybe a Gen AI developer. Today, in today's era, we have seen job roles coming for the Gen AI developer. Majorly, they are responsible to develop agents, right? They are responsible to develop something on frameworks like semantic kernel of Microsoft, frameworks like Agno, frameworks which is there for which is there for building some RAG-based systems or something else. We will be talking about more details in some other session about the different AI roles. It is also very interesting in today's era to understand the different segments, right? Whether it's a Gen AI role or the traditional AI ML role or part which is required. But for today, let's focus on who who can excel, who can thrive in this, and who will burn out for a backend developer who joins our backend developer role in any organization. So let's talk about the same organization for like we were talking about in our last example in the front end development. Same product. People someone is asking you to kind of develop an API which kind of solve some problems, which kind of pick the data. Okay. Let's take a real world example. You are asked to create an API which will fetch data from your database. Okay, and which is only required to send, like out of 5 lakh record, it is only required to send 50 records at a time in a paginated manner. So that's something which is required. Now, if you start thinking logically how I can build this, and you start solving that, and the end of the day, after end of your development, you started looking at the end result, and you ship that product. In backend, it is the testing is majorly done by some testing agent. Like if you are testing API, you test it via Postman, and then you are not able to see the output, right? Because it is not integrated to the front end. And once you ship that product, once your front end engineer came back and told you that okay, the paginated report required 100 records at once on my screen, but you are only returning me 50 records. Okay, you might have seen these types of websites wherein you can you go on different pages to kind of see those reports, to kind of see, to read something, right? It is only returning like 50. So that is a issue which you got. Now you have to resolve that issue, because the timeline is you have to solve on a Wednesday evening, you have to complete that activity. Your project manager is asking you to deliver it by end of the day, and now it became a puzzle for you. Okay, I have tested everything, I'm returning 100 out of from my API response. The request was for 100, I'm returning 100, but they are not able to see it in that format which they are expecting. What is the issue? You start thinking logically. This is a puzzle which you need to solve, right? And uh, and 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 at the end of the game, at the end of the day, when you have solved that issue, you'll not get into the details how we will solve, but let's take an example. You have solved that issue, and then you became frustrated. You utilize different platforms, you asked your senior, you asked the chat GPT, you asked the cloud, you use the coding assistant like us, and still the problem, you were not able to solve, and somehow it got resolved, and you were frustrated in solving that puzzle. Then naturally, this is not something which you will like going forward. And this is something which is very much required for you to excel in this role. To solve that puzzle at the end of the day, solve that puzzle logically, right? And quickly, thinking about how it will impact the front end, right? Thinking about the different aspects of it, right? Thinking about how I can build this more quickly, and whether I'm liking this activity or not. Similar thing which we talked about in the front end role. The aptitude here is whether you are able to logically think the different aspect of that problem, whether you are excited in solving these smaller puzzles, right? It is very important, because you will be in backend, you will be always thinking about the business logics, right? And how to kind of solve those business logic properly, how to build those models, how to build those frameworks, how to solve that puzzle quickly is very much important. So if you're leaning towards problem solving from the puzzle side perspective, okay, if you're leaning towards that, then definitely this is a role which you should be targeting, right? This is something which you should be targeting kind at the end of the day, that you will excel in this role if you have very logical mindset, okay? And someone who is not liking this activity, it's fine. Not everything is for everyone. That we need to understand, and then we can move forward. There are various roles in the market which is out there. Maybe you will be good in role like BSA or a QA engineer, which is our next role to be talked about, right? So what is the mission of a quality engineer? Basically, QA is quality, or a tester, which we can say. It is one of the most essential legs of any product to do testing regressively, so that the product does not break while it is there out in production. So the means whether your customers is utilizing it and they are not facing any difficulty, it is the outcome of the hard work which a tester has performed in testing that application. Okay, one of the main themes of tester is to break things. Okay. so it's very like, I can say that any tester should have that mindset. How I can break this application. So, like why I'm laughing on this, like, because everyone is there to make the product, and you are there to break the product somehow. You always think from that angle that, okay, what is missing here? You are always critical about the application, the product, the feature which is developed. So if you have a mindset of breaking things, breaking things, not like you just picked up a glass and then dropped it, not like that, but breaking things logically, thinking about that, what is missing, being critical about things, right? Uh, imagine like you are checking the same web page like hundreds time, still you are able to find that one missing element, that one missing pixel, that one missing word, that one missing deviation in the CTA button, right? On different devices, on a 13-inch MacBook, on a 27-inch screen, on a small device like 6-inch of mobile, different screens, you are, and different devices on different browsers like Chrome, like Safari, like Edge. You are able to see those nuances, you are able to find those issues, you are able to capture those bugs, right? This is the role for you. Okay. It is not that a tester is like something which is not to be pursued. There are very good career, there are very good roles in every organization which is there out for the QA engineer. Okay. And very exciting career, very rewarding. You will have the end-to-end understanding of the product. And while we are talking about that you are there to break, it is not a negative thing. Okay, it should not be considered as a negative thing. It is incredibly, which I can say, it is very incredible to find those people who can find those issues, because they are there, they are acting like a guard for you, for your product to be a successful product in the market. Okay. uh, they make your product, uh, they take your product to like 5-star rating on the iOS store, on the Android store, right? So they are the one who help you generate positive feedbacks about their product. So they are not there, like they are not a negative personality, or QA isn't about negativity. It is all about finding the issue, finding that smaller things which might have got missed by everyone, and you are able to find that. We have to think it like that, that we are the QA engineers are the protectors of the application. They are the protectors of the brand of the organization. Okay. So anyone who is having this type of mindset, and if you are enjoying this activity, this is a role which you should be pursuing. Okay, very essential. To think like that, if to think critically, to criticize the application if it is if it requires that thing. So, critical mindset with a very close eyes is, if someone is enjoying that activity, this is a role for you. Okay, now we will move on to some other roles, which is also pursued by many freshers who is out there in how out there, like they are studying in their MBAs or in their final years in some other educational background. They pursue the project manager role, and it is also a very rewarding role, and it is also very essential role for any product to go out uh, on time. They are the guardians of the product, they are the guardians of the budget. They are the guardians who make every team align on time to deliver something. Basically, a project manager don't write much code. They are not responsible of writing codes, okay? They are not responsible of debugging any issue, but they are responsible on time delivery. So they are responsible to bring different team members, that is the front end people, the back end people, the DevOps guys, the infrastructure team, and align them on on a timeline. And they are responsible to remove obstacles which these team members are facing in their day-to-day task. Okay. So if you're someone, if, how I can think that who will thrive in this role. Okay, how to analyze whether I am a good person for this role is start thinking from the angle that whether I'm enjoying a full day conversation or not. First thing, whether I'm enjoying multiple meetings ranging from different areas, ranging from front end, ranging from back end, then planning activities, whether I am able to do planning and able to negotiate between different team members, the leaders of different team members, whether I have that capability or not, whether I am enjoying that thing or not. Okay. If developers are building the engine, if developers, so backend developer and a front end developer and DevOps guy is building the engine, a project manager is managing the traffic on the road. You have to understand it like that. So you are someone building an engine. You need different things to come from different direction, right? On time, in different manner. In something will be required in a waterfall manner. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Something will be required in an agile manner, like uh, things can be taken up all at once, right? So let's take an example. What's an agile? So two things are required. Let's take an example. I have to build a feature, right? And I need front end and back end. Both of them can be shipped at once. They can be developed in parallel, right? Not in waterfall, like one first front end will be developed, then back end will be developed. Not like that. Both of them can work together parallelly. So they are there to manage that traffic. Okay. In this role, you will keep a constant communication with different stakeholders within your organization. And if you are working for a client, if you are developing a product for a client, you keep a constant connect with the client also, right? You keep a constant communications, right? And you are someone, you are holding that baton to energize your team also. At times your team will not be working at the optimal level, so you have to act like a leader, like a captain. You have to come and you have to energize your team, that guys, we have to deliver this on time. Let me know what difficulties you are facing. So if you have that mindset, if you have a mindset of communicating and talking with different people and trying to solve the problem on others' behalf, this is a role for you. Okay. This is a role which is fit for you. Okay. So, and if you are not liking these activities, right? If you are if you are thinking that someone is holding me accountable for some other work, for someone's others, someone who has done this work and they are holding me accountable for this activity, for an activity which is done by someone else, like a front end engineer, like a back end engineer, like a DevOps guy, right? Like a product manager, like a business analyst. If you start thinking like that, that why I'm asked, why I have to give the answer, then this is not a role for you. Okay. So again, go back, sit down, think about whether these are something which you are which you are liking. Like some of the essential skills is planning, negotiation, stakeholder management, communication, providing updates, writing back to different people, understanding their needs, and solving problems for someone else. Then, and if you think that you have ticked all the boxes, then this is a role for you. We'll go to the next role, which is a product manager role. Okay. Uh, Now, in today's world, if you will go on LinkedIn, if you will go on Google also, you will see you will see it it majorly on the social media platform like LinkedIn or Insta. You will see it is flooded with word like product manager. Okay, and for me, this is one of the most abused role in today's era. Everyone is saying that I am a product manager, whether they are or not. And I can say that this is probably one of the most misunderstood role. In reality, the role is different in different organizations, but the name is same. And that's the reason I said that this is one of the most abused role, right? Reality is, a product manager is someone who thinks critically about a feature, okay, from different angles, from the angle of a customer, okay, and he acts like a gate to say no to the leadership of that organization. Okay, they analyze the feature from different angles, from different frameworks. They analyze the problem, whether this will create value for the business or not. Value in terms of like whether it will bring revenue, whether it will bring customer. Okay. And that is something very hard to do. You have to wear hat of different personas, right? The persona of a customer, the persona of your leadership. And you should be capable enough of saying no to your leadership for something which they are asking to be built based upon the different products which is there in market, right? So for this role, one of the essential elements for you to understand that whether ambiguity excites you or not, that's the first question you should ask. Entropy excites you or not? Every day, every day missing things are exciting you or not? Every day you are able to think from different perspectives or not? And then you have an understanding of building something interesting. Okay, something interesting, some interesting feature, right? Like let's take an example. On review loop, we have a feature wherein we directly click and go to on different messaging tools like WhatsApp or something else. So something interesting, whether you are building something interesting, which is having a hook or not. So if the answer is yes, then this is a role for you, right? Uh, One of the essential features for any person to excel in this role is whether he or she is an influential personality. You should be able to influence the development team, the front end and the back end, and at the same time, your leadership that this product will bring the customer the revenue. It's not only in the influence which you should be backing that influence with your research, right? Research from different angles. from customer perspective, from the frameworks which is out there in market. We'll not talk about more in details about it because we have like very less time left in this session. Maybe I will take this role individually in some other session. We'll talk about more in details. Who is a very good candidate for a product manager role? It is both technical and non-technical role, right? Why I'm saying this, on some features you will be writing codes. On some features you are only writing a PRD, product requirement document, which is an output for this role. Okay, we'll talk in details. For now, important thing to keep in mind is whether ambiguity excites me or not, whether entropy excites me or not. That's something which I should be asking for this role. If that is in positive, if that is affirmative, then I will excel in this role. Otherwise, I will have to uh, develop those capabilities, right? To excel in this role. We'll go to the next role, the business system analyst, right? Uh, Basically, they are people who have some domain understanding. Okay, they have some understanding about converting the technical part into the business, and at the same time the business part into technical. Okay, why this role is very important, majorly in some of the service based industries, client, when you will build some product, maybe data product or some product for client or digital product or something for the client, they will rarely explain problem clearly, and someone who is understanding in different ways, okay, who can develop clear crystal understanding about a requirement while communicating with someone. Okay, and you like to bridge that gap. Okay, every time if you sit with different team members of yours, and if you are liking, okay, they mention something to you and then you understood it in much better ways, and you are able to explain it to different team members in better ways, which you have had a conversation with a different client, then this is a role for you. This is one of the essential roles in any organization. They convert messy conversation into structured solutions, structured documents like uh, 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 high level design document like business requirement document like FSDs. You might have heard about it, functional specification documents. They are the person who write these documents. And one of the essential feature, I'll just go a bit quickly here. One of the essential features of business system analyst is you like chaos every day, because you will be bombarded with questions, like hundreds of questions every day from your different team members, like the front end guy, like the back end guy. And if you are enjoying this, this is a role for you. Okay, so with this, we covered like most of the roles which like all the roles which we talked about today. I'll skip this section. And then we can then one of the essential learnings of uh, today is to learn about the different aspect. At least you should be knowing what is required for different role, and I hope that I have been able to cover some of them. But if you think you want more details, and please go read about every role, read about the job descriptions which is provided by different organizations, and what skills which is required to kind of excel in this. For this, we have also designed a curriculum from PyCray. We called it Forge, PyCray Forge, and you can go to PyCray website and you can see what Force is all about. It's a 4-month program. It's a training combined with an internship program, which will help you in kind of navigate through the understanding of the different roles. It's a 8-week program wherein we start from understanding about the discovery, the prototyping, the solutioning, the execution, and then we have capstone, wherein you will be developing product from the live product. And one of the essential features about the program which we are running is you will be assigned a live team from day one to see the real work, to solve, to see the real problems which is being solved. So maybe from PyCray Technology, will be assigned some client project, or the or you will be assigned to review loop team, where you will be kind of solving some important problems daily. So it's not a training where you will have only theoretical session. Theoretical sessions are very less, but practical sessions you will get uh, to interact with daily. So it's not another boot camp. It's not a certification. It's a place where you will learn to work with actual team. You will attend stand-ups. You will have access to GitHub. You will work on live product. You will see live bugs getting fixed, and you will learn all of this from different roles perspective, from front end engineer perspective, from back end engineer perspective, from QA engineer perspective, from a project manager, product manager perspective, and from a business system analyst productive perspective. I'll request everyone, maybe Mahesh can put that in chat. Go to this link, see what is PyCray Forge, how it can help you if you are a fresher, if you are in your initial years of your career. But yes, definitely the objective of this session was to kind of help you understand about the different roles, help you understand how you can excel in different role. One final thought from my side is, don't chase impressive job titles, chase actual work, chase work that makes time disappear for you, because career lasts for decades. The excitement for a role may fade in year or two, but you should be enjoying the work which you are doing. With this, I'm ending today's session. If you have any questions, any doubt, write back to me. Write on info@pycray.com. You can write back to me, rahul@pycray.com, or you can write to Mahesh. We'll be sharing all the links in the chat, and happy to receive questions. Thank you.